Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with a very hot topic, and the topic that we are going to discuss, the two of us, is the question is, will you marry a person or a girl or a woman who has undergone female genital mutilation, FGM as we know it, and we'll be discussing the reason why yes or why no, whichever any one of us will pick. We'll discuss, we'll go to even to the opinions, the unpopular opinions we're going to cover within this channel. So sit back, relax, and let's watch it. So so let me tell you, first, this individual today is not going to introduce himself. He's just going to be a character with me. So let me ask you a question. Will you marry a person who has undergone FGM?
Never, ever.
Good. Now he has given us his answer. So in case you're wondering what is female genital mutilation, this is when a young woman, or whichever, even a big woman, is taken for an illegal surgery, or where his genital, some part of his genitalia is cut away or undergo surgery. Surgery looks like a very formal name. Let's say it is cut away. A part of a female genitalia is cut away. It's a cultural thing, which is which is archaic. So the part of a woman is cut away. Then the woman is being told, now you have graduated from a girl, now you are a big woman in the society, and now maybe there is some things which you will have access to, and you will earn respect maybe before the eyes of other community members. So this activity has been ongoing in Kenya and also in other African communities. And we are going now to discuss why one would want to marry, or why someone else would not want to marry. So for me, I'll say I don't care, I can marry. So this guy says no, and he's going to have his evidence to back why this is why he believes so, and also I'll support mine. So tell me why you will never marry.
I will never marry a woman who has undergone the knife because she has no feeling for sex. She has no at all. Anasema ukimaliza funika.
Okay, so you have heard what you said. So in fact, by saying that, you have actually opened a window of imagination in my mind. So I'm wondering what actually this part that is being cut away. Why the cutting of that piece now results to a woman or a girl not actually wanting to engage in sex? As you have said, the sex is no longer enjoyable. So for us, we know that the organ of a woman, how it is structured. So we have something we all famously known as now the clitoris. So we have had suspicions or imaginations, because you know that part is the one that is sensitive. Probably that is the part that is chopped away, which now results to now the woman losing all sexual desires, which he has covered. As for me, I like to support my quest by saying yes. First is, this woman, we know we human beings, we are let's say we are not disciplined. That's the word. We are not disciplined. So sometimes we say that you are not going to do this thing, then tomorrow, sometimes later, when circumstances occur that puts us in a situation that we become compromised, we tend to agree for some activities to occur. For example, in this case, sex. When we are presented with circumstances that favors that situation, we will very easily engage in that thingy which we had swear we will never engage, such as cheating. So I think this mutilation will provide like a blockage. Once now, even engage in sex means that there are some desires that both parties have. That's why they are now coming together and engage. That's why it's called an engagement. So when this person now has undergone that process, the other party will be the one wanting, and this other party will be not feeling like even engaging. So the motivation has been cut away. So for me, that works for me. Now you are there, nobody is disturbing you. the person is disciplined, in short. So maybe you can tell me something else.
Yes, let me tell you the disadvantages of a woman who has undergone the cut. One, she doesn't, as I have said, she doesn't feel any urge for sex. Two, the a organ, a female organ, after being cut, will shrink. In that process of healing will shrink. That is becomes small. And when she delivers, when she has a baby, when giving birth, that highway of life, that's called the birth canal, she will undergo a lot of difficulties during childbirth.
Okay.
Yes, and she may also encounter a disease or what. It is called the fistula. It is she has high chance of developing a fistula, which is very critical condition.
So I must point out now, not everybody who has actually undergone this process has contracted fistula. And also fistula is a disease that has also been observed to just normal people who have not undergone this process, and now they have fistula. So this fistula doesn't choose. Maybe what is trying to say, it has more or high affinity to people who have undergone this process. In which I would like to say, maybe I don't want to speculate the statistics, but I want to say this. Now you have talked about shrinking. Coming to think about it, I'm going to throw an unpopular opinion here. So he has talked about shrinking. So when you start to imagine shrinking of something, that kind of looks good at some point for a man. Really?
No. During sex,
Look, shrinking.
she feels pain. She feels pain.
Oh,
during
now.
sex, she doesn't enjoy, and she doesn't even reach an orgasm. Imagine that situation. Somebody you are with, you want to enjoy, and she's lying like a look. That's why she says, "Malisa funika."
Okay, so what the phrase that is throwing here at the end, funika, ukimaliza funika, actually translates to when you are done, cover me. So I'm going to point out another thing. We have these women over here right now. So these women right now who have already undergone that process, they are people in the society and they need to get married. And now if we say we don't want to marry them, they are left out. They have nobody to take care of them. So how are we going to ensure that we also grow as a community? We are together as a community, so we don't discriminate. They don't feel left out. They don't feel hated. They should feel that they are part and parcel of the community. They are respected just like any other person. So these people, they actually need to get married. So you see, that's why I'm saying I'm also a potential individual who can also marry them. So when you say that they don't deserve, you will never marry them, that means they are going to be there. They are going to be you're actually talking about discriminating them. They are not going to get any man, which is terrible.
Yes. May I add something? That men who would like their women to undergo the knife or FGM are people who have low libido. Yes, they have low libido, so that they don't want a woman who maybe so these people who encourage that habit, the men have low libido, and so a woman who has undergone the knife will not withstand, for example, a man who may say that process of coitus may last for example, to satisfy a woman for 35 minutes, so, or 45. Then a woman who has undergone the knife will not withstand. She may not even be happy when you are around.
Okay. There's something I'd like to counter. This person has actually touched something very important. So he has talked about not having a high libido. So, we all know, all as human beings, there are conditions that can result a man, for example, to have low libido, for example, stress and maybe even age. As you become older and older, you cannot be able to perform these activities. So this person has talked. People have to get married regardless of age. So sometimes you need just a woman, a very wonderful woman with you. And maybe let's assume you have this challenge. So when you have this challenge, and let's say you have married a woman who has not undergone this process, for instance, are going to have a troubled marriage. This woman will, because of your lack of performance, marriage is not all about sex. So when it comes to now for this for that woman, she'll be doing some activities here in, maybe in your house or maybe whatever place that you are, you'll be offering other kind of assistance. But the moment this woman now, because she has realized that you cannot satisfy her, she goes out. You know, when a person goes out, she might also come back with some kind of disease, a lot of many diseases. So it is more safer for this woman to have undergone this process now that she's not going to do what, she's now not going to bring now these diseases, because she's disciplined, she's not engaging in this activity. You are safe. And you with your low libido, of course you are safe, because now you cannot engage. So just there are two people living in the world doing whatever activities they want to do. Okay, so give me another point.
Yes, another point. You have said that a woman who is not satisfied, who has not undergone the knife, has a chance of cheating. I might tell you also, a man who has married a woman who has undergone the knife, and we know she doesn't want that intimacy, that process of intimacy so much. So the man has high chance also of going out,
Okay,
as he may bring the diseases you have said. So it is all two-way traffic.
So let's assume we have a world in which all women are circumcised, or in quotes, we prefer to use female genital mutilation. So let's assume that this woman, as all women in this hypothetical world of ours, have undergone this process. So we have these men. So you see, these women have undergone this process now. On the other side, they don't have the motivation to actually engage in this activity. So they will only allow themselves to engage with their man, because somebody has undergone that process. They are being told that organ over down there belongs to this man over here, and it only belongs to him and him alone. And because that process now let's say damages, or not damage actually, deals with your nervous system somehow, it changes it, so that now you become a less lover of intimacy. Now it creates a condition where a woman is more faithful to a man. So if a man even wants to do sex with somebody who is not maybe his wife, you get a situation where the woman does not have that feeling. So you see, so she's more likely to say no. So now that one, you see, the over time, the statistics, maybe if you take large number of people, it actually reduces. If you compare when both people have not undergone that kind of, kind of activity.
Yes, may I tell you again that I have seen women who have undergone the cut, and they cheat. There are more over cheaters than even they who have never undergone the knife. So this thing of cheating involves someone's character. If someone allows herself to be a cheater, even if she has undergone the knife, she will cheat. And if somebody has not undergone this right, and she abstains and she maintains an integrity, she will never cheat. And also, I urge all men, never ever marry a woman who has been circumcised. Never, because the disadvantages are irreversible. You will live with it is disadvantages to your grave.
Look. Allow me to also to counter. You see, these women who actually cheat, there is a motivation behind cheating. You cannot just walk up in the middle of maybe the day and you just go to the road and say, I want to cheat. There is a motivation behind the reason why somebody cheats. Maybe there is not enough. Maybe that individual that you're supposed to engage is not maybe performing. So you end up now needing that external force to actually get yourself satisfied. But now, for a woman who has undergone this cut, the sole cause of this motivation is not the need to get satisfaction. The need probably comes from an external, from something else, not the feelings. Probably the lack of money, or maybe even blackmail. Sometimes you are needed to maybe engage in something. That's why now you have to engage me so that something can be written off somewhere. So that is actually what most of the time leads to this kind of persons, these female persons cheating. The people are actually undergone cut. So apart from that, these women are actually disciplined. So that's what I would like to point out. So let us still continue. Can you give me something else? You cannot tell me that you have finished when you have finished your opinions. Do you have other or more opinions?
I call
I know.
being a cheater does not mean that maybe the woman is cheats because of poverty or what else. I have seen even women who, from well-to-do families cheating. So I call cheaters are poor in morals. They suffer from what I call poverty of morals.
Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. I don't have to just to deal with the scope of now cheating as the reason why FGM is good or bad. Let us talk about something else. Let's go on with this debate.
Debate.
Yes. Pick.
Yes.
Give me another point. Can you throw out another point? We need to. I
Another
need to
point.
counter that point. Yeah.
I have heard many women who have undergone the knife, telling and advising others never to undergo. I've seen women with daughters, and these women have been cut, but they don't allow their daughters to be cut again. So this shows that the act of cutting women is barbaric and archaic, and it should stop.
Okay, there is something else I would like to talk about. You see, this FGM, there is an origin of FGM. You cannot tell me that FGM just came naturally. There is something that resulted this FGM to occur or to start or to begin. So they might have observed some indecency among the women and the men, and they felt that the best way to actually counter this bad behavior is actually having that thing called female genital mutilation. They decided, well, you see, over here we have a woman. This woman is so promiscuous. On this other side, you have this man who is also so much promiscuous. So what we are going to do, we have realized that this organ maybe works this way because it's not science that came and told us this part behaves like this, because before even these people who we believe brought this science to us in quotes, they found us to be already engaging this sex. So that's why our population was growing, and of course we felt at some point that this activity is enjoyable. So they saw that there was some promiscuity in the society, and the cause of this promiscuity was, in African society, we believe that the woman has some power when it comes to sex. She's the one who can decide whether we can have it or not, because that organ is the one is within her, right? And us on the other side, of course, we also have ours on the other side. But now she's the one who decides when we engage and when we cannot, most of the time, right? So they felt that the sole cause of now cheating is when more women are accepting men, so that for this engagement to occur, the women give the okay, then the men they engage. So they thought, well, that if we put a blockade in this side of the women, then men on the other side, they will automatically adjust and behave right. So that's the reason why FGM exists, and I think for that reason itself is the reason why I think FGM some point has some benefits as well. Okay, so continue.
Why can you give me a history? We know our ancestors. Some practice FGM. Some communities, according to our ancestors who practiced the FGM, our grandfathers, our forefathers were moving from one place to another, chasing after pasture and many other things. They would leave their women back. Some of our ancestors were even busy at war front, fighting their enemies. So they would leave their women back. So I don't know whether they have come with an idea that let us cut these women, let us cut maybe that sensitive part, so that they may not cheat when we are away. So maybe that thing came with that idea of FGM.
So you see this FGM as an end is the reason why it exists, and the reason why we are now getting rid of we are getting rid of it, the FGM. It's also resulting the problems that we were thinking this FGM was keeping away, that now coming back again. So how are going? We know technology has changed and a lot of things have come today, but now in the past it was a very viable activity, but now because times have changed, maybe that's when you can now tell me it is not good. It's not good because now maybe the reason why FGM was were trying to prevent maybe our men to misbehave, right? But now you know, when you know, even when we were young, diseases were not many. We didn't have the HIV.
let me
HIV
tell you,
came just recently.
let me add something very important. FGM, the disadvantage of FGM.
Give me another disadvantage of FGM.
Yes, you know.
And why should somebody not marry somebody who has actually undergone this process? Why? Why should you discriminate against that individual? Sometimes these people, even they didn't engage in that activity willfully. They were forced into, and they found themselves, oh wow, we have already undergone it. So now what? Do I continue this process, or what do I do? Because they actually, right now in Kenya, they have some rescue centers which have been set up for women who were to undergo and those who have already undergone, because both of them need to be protected, right? So, but now when you say they should never be married, now you are leaving these people to the world. Okay, in the dark, because
man, I've seen.
They need to, as well, to be married. They need to have normal life like any other person. Life has to go on, so you have to choose them. If they are beautiful enough.
FGM has more disadvantages. It has no advantage. It has no. For example, I have had many women who have died, many girls who have died because
in the
of
process.
FGM. They have lost a lot of blood, and at the end they die. Also,
and as well, there are also other men who have died during circumcision. The men circumcision. There are men who also have died during the male circumcision. So if you have to get rid of FGM because a lot of women die, maybe you can as well get rid of circumcision because also men die. So the problem who dies during this process is not the problem. The problem is why should this process, this activity be continued, and why not? So if the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, that's when we can actually come up with a stand. Okay?
Yes, women who used to cut girls, they would use crude weapons like a razor blade. I say crude and contaminated, and they would circumcise, let us say, 20 girls using the same knife, and this would result into infection of diseases like sexually transmitted diseases.
Very right, very right. So you have heard what this guy has said as well. Even men, us, before this coming of this technology and knowing and this science know-how, also men were engaging in this circumcision. Women, we were being circumcised using maybe the same tool, because maybe people of the same ages were getting married. That's why we used to say, this, you see this young man, we were circumcised together. That one is to mean in quote we got, we were under the knife, we used the same knife in quotes. Yes. That's what he's trying to say. Maybe a certain group of people actually underwent that process. Another thing that I would like to touch is the reason why there is a rampant increase of diseases in this female genital mutilation is because it is undergoing government crackdown. So people are actually instigating this process when they are in hiding. So you see, when you are in hiding, you don't have the necessary tools, but you have to make the activity occur. Now you have to go to the shop, buy maybe this cheap item, because you don't also have enough money, and you are careful not to be seen by a government official somewhere or some person whom you know will compromise that situation. You see, you are going to try and become as much do you say inconspicuous or conspicuous? Whichever the part, you are trying to hide yourself. That's the point. So you now take this woman in the dark. You are even careful not to lit fire, because fire is a very good let's say item or something which can help to now to kill the germs and maybe the virus that can have invaded that knife of yours. So when you see, you even don't want to lit fire, because the activities are most of the time done in the dark. You see, now you put these women in danger. But if now this thing was actually done in the hospital, now we could not have had this problem of diseases being transmitted. It could have been just a formal thing that now the whites are coming to wonder, oh, so these women are circumcised, and actually how do they circumcise? What do they get rid of? Wow, and how do you feel as a woman? Are you super okay? Have you ever wondered what would have happened if you never underwent this process? How is life for you? Is it okay? What are you thinking? Can you imagine how life could have been? And a lot of things they could have bring revenue, and that wonder in that white person or that foreign person is what would have been bringing money. But now we have the world against this kind of culture. And now, okay, let me come out straight. I don't support it, but Now,
But you are saying
just imagine. I'm saying I'm still going with the yes. They need to also to get married. I'm not supporting the activity to go on, but I'm supporting that these people, we should be able to say yes to marrying them. We should not be discriminating them. We should be saying yes to marrying them. I know you're saying if we say yes, that means the community will continue bringing this kind of women out. That means they will be continuing this mutilation of these women, so that because anyway they're getting married, right? So his thinking is if we stop it, maybe there will be no more circumcision. If we I mean if we stop marrying them, there will be no more circumcision.
Yes,
And now the
yes,
end of that
yes,
process.
yes.
But now on my side, because there are already those people are actually have undergone that process, we should be okay to marry them, right? We should be okay to have them in our houses as wives, right?
Let me tell you that.
So you want to tell me,
Yeah,
if a woman has undergone that process, just shows up here and tells you, can you please give me some kind of work? You'll say no. You have undergone that process, disappear.
Work and marriage is different, my friend.
Okay.
The Bible, there is no verse, even a single verse in the Bible that promotes FGM. There is no.
This is not about religion or anything. Listen, this is just a normal setting. This is African society. It has nothing to do with what's written in the Bible. Women are undergoing or were undergoing this process. So the whites came and told us this is a barbaric thing. You should stop. And now, because their message cannot reach everywhere, all the corners of Kenya, there are some people actually still continuing this process, right? Now, because the government is now trying to crack down and eliminate it,
Yes.
it is not easy to eliminate it because also the government is not everywhere. The government is just a bunch of people seated somewhere calling themselves that we've got the power, we've got the guns and everything. You have to do what we say. So they need first to call community members and educate them as to why they should step that process first and give them all the reasons why they should abandon it, because it is a cultural thing and it's difficult to kill a culture. They should think about that. I know this, we have dragged this conversation for a very long time. I think it's time we actually stop it, guys. Don't do FGM. It's dangerous. It's not good. It's not healthy. You will be arrested. You will be put in jail. Yeah, that's it, guys. Bye.